They sold you the lie that your net worth is dictated by your network. So you smiled at the events, you collected the useless business cards, and you begged for connections on LinkedIn. But here is the cold, uncompromised truth. Modern networking is just a desperate coping mechanism for the incompetent. Needy professionals beg for links. Elite masters engineer isolation. They understand that true power isn't found in a room full of people swapping mediocre favors. It is forged in absolute solitude. While the masses waste their energy maintaining fragile, superficial alliances, the sovereign leader builds something so irreplaceable that the entire market has no choice but to why. Stop blending in. Start isolating. Modern networking is less about strategic growth and more about masking professional insecurity. The corporate arena pushes you to collect contacts because it provides an illusion of progress while avoiding the difficult solitary work of building genuine skill. When you see people constantly trading business cards or begging for attention on digital platforms, you are witnessing an echo chamber of the weak. These individuals have nothing of true substance to offer, so they try to borrow value from others. They rely on social lubrication to survive because their actual execution power is non-existent. A master refuses to participate in this superficial barter system. Instead of wasting critical mental energy trying to belong to a network of desperate value lechers, you must realize that a room full of average minds will never yield a singular brilliant result. Stop hiding in the crowd and face the reality of your own competence. In the economics of power, scarcity dictates value. The average professional mistakenly assumes that maximum visibility and unlimited accessibility equal corporate influence. In reality, being omnipresent simply causes the dilution effect. When you are available to every low-level contact, attend every casual coffee chat, and say yes to every trivial panel, you actively depreciate your executive worth. You cease to be an elite asset and instead become a commoditized common resource. True authority operates on exclusivity. The corporate system deliberately tricks you into over-distributing your time so you never accumulate enough concentrated focus to pose a threat to the established hierarchy. By spreading yourself thin across hundreds of superficial relationships, you ensure that your strategic footprint remains shallow and forgettable. Elite leaders intentionally restrict their presence. They understand that by pulling back and limiting access, they instantly amplify the psychological premium of their voice. True architectural mastery is never conceived in a crowded room. It is forged behind closed doors in a state of strategic isolation. While the masses are busy performing corporate choreography at mixer events, the elite leader disappears into absolute solitude. This isolation is not an act of social awkwardness. It is a calculated, high-status rejection of distractions to construct unassailable competence. In this dark space, away from the constant noise of public opinion and groupthink, you master the complex disciplines that others find too exhausting to learn. You blend technical expertise with sharp psychological insights, creating a hybrid advantage that cannot be replicated by a committee. When you finally step back into the arena, you do not need to introduce yourself or show a business card. Your raw execution power speaks with such absolute force that it immediately commands the space you choose to enter. There are only two positions in the professional ecosystem. You are either actively chasing value or you have become the value itself. Traditional networking forces you into the role of a desperate hunter, constantly pitching, pleading, and offering superficial favors in hopes of gaining a brief audience with power. The master flips this dynamic entirely by deploying the magnet phenomenon. Instead of expending precious energy pursuing elusive connections, you focus every single resource on building a monumental, undeniable center of gravity. When your competence is absolute and your results are completely irreplaceable, you stop running after the market starts running after you. Power flows naturally toward the sovereign individual who needs nothing from the room but commands everything within it. By shifting your mindset from a value seeker to a value generator, you force the entire corporate hierarchy to realign itself around your specific axis. The modern corporate structure likes to mask its cold, transactional nature under the warm facade of workplace culture, encouraging you to view your professional network as a collection of authentic friendships. This is a highly dangerous psychological blind spot. In the high-stakes arena of power, corporate alliances are inherently fragile because they are built purely on shifting metrics of mutual utility. The moment your professional leverage declines or your strategic interests no longer align with theirs, the illusion of loyalty evaporates instantly. The master approaches every relationship with a clear, unsentimental understanding of this reality. You do not invest emotional capital into fragile networks. Nor do you mistake superficial office camaraderie for true allegiance. Expecting genuine loyalty from a system designed for cutthroat survival is a fatal strategic mistake. Instead of building your career on the shifting sands of corporate sentimentality, you must treat connections as temporary, tactical alignments. By detaching your emotions from these transactional networks, you protect your psychological sovereignty. You can collaborate with absolute. The ultimate destination of this elite psychological cyclean is to transform yourself into a sovereign monolith. The average professional is terrified of standing alone. They feel safe only when anchored to a corporate department, a union, or a tightly knit professional circle. This desperate reliance on a group structure means their survival is always dependent on collective permission. The master completely shatters this emotional crutch, choosing instead to stand as an independent, unyielding monument of pure execution power. When you achieve the status of a sovereign monolith, you no longer need a network to validate your authority, provide you with leads, or protect you from organizational politics. Your expertise is so deep, and your cross-disciplinary mastery is so advanced that you function as an entire ecosystem within yourself. You do not adapt to the existing climate of the room. Your very presence dictates the weather. This absolute independence grants you a terrifying advantage over your competitors. Because you do not belong to any specific corporate faction, you cannot be blackmailed, marginalized, or controlled by legacy gatekeepers. You operate entirely above the grid, selecting tactical partnerships strictly on your own terms and discarding them when they no longer serve your vision. While the compliant masses remain trapped in their messy webs of codependency, constantly begging for a hand up, the sovereign monolith looks down from a position of absolute, unassailable supremacy. The game doesn't include you. You are the one who hosts it. Precision when necessary, but you remain completely unbound, knowing that your ultimate security lies solely in your personal competence, never in the fake promises of a crowded room.